Hi guys! In this video I'm going to talk about kids cafes. What's trending right now in Korea are modern upscale cafes where kids can play and parents can hang out. And when you think of a kids play area, you probably think of something that looks like this. It's brightly colored, there's loud, obnoxious music playing, and you're just kind of miserable looking at your phone while your kid runs around like a crazy person. These cafes definitely exist in Korea, but lately my family and I have been hitting up some really cool kids cafes that I actually enjoy hanging out at because the design is good, they play nice music that I enjoy listening to, and my kids have a blast as well. So here are 5 kids cafes that really take it to the next level. The first one is P.I.M, or Play and Museum. This cafe is located in Banpo Hangang Park and it overlooks the Han River. Isn't this place gorgeous? The ball pit totally looks like it came out of an upscale Korean bar. And they also have a black light neon room and this really cool air flute, which my kids loved. I was also surprised that they served beer at this kids cafe, and they mostly served American style food, but I found this really interesting kettle corn that was flavored like corn soup, and it was surprisingly good. This is probably the best kids cafe that I've ever been to in my life. The second kids cafe is called Champion 1250 and it's located in iPark Mall at Yongsan Station. On the outside of the play area there are 2 different kids art studios which are geared towards older kids, and they make some really cool stuff. The kids playground itself is gigantic, and they even have this zip lining thing which looked really fun for older kids. They also have an upscale cafe within the play area. I love the apple tea here that I got so much that I went so far as to order it on Amazon right when I was in the play area so that I could drink it at home. To fully take advantage of this place though, you would want to have older kids. I think my kids were a little bit young for this play area. Lilliput Kids Cafe in Cheongdam is also very nice. Lilliput runs a chain of cafes, and this one was pretty amazing. When you walk in, it feels like you're walking to an Alessi or Jonathan Adler dream house. The design here is so on point. The seating area reminds me of a nice cafe in Seoul where adults would hang out, and the kids play area is very aesthetically pleasing. Valentina absolutely loved everything here, particularly the ice cream stand, and almost all the toys were made of wood or some other natural materials, and they're just so pretty. The ball pit takes it to the next level with this game where you throw the ball onto the wall and try to hit the different targets. And the food is actually really tasty. I can't remember the last time I had gnocchi, but Valentina loved it as well. Plouf is a pool cafe that's right next door to Lilliput, and I think it's owned by the same owner. It looks kind of like a place for adults to hang out. It's really chic, but everything is just miniature. This place looks like a cool pool themed bar / spa that I'd want to hang out at if I was in my 20s, and there's even a place for kids to get a foot massage and feel really pampered. Seriously, this place is so extra. There's a couple of shallow indoor and outdoor pools, and there's also a little baby spa. These kids cafes definitely come with a hefty price tag though. P.I.M costs 25,000 won for 2 hours per kid, and adults must pay 5,000 won each. Champion 1250 costs 20,000 won per kid for 2 hours and 5,000 won for adults. Lilliput costs 15,000 won for 2 hours of play per kid, and adults must purchase an entree which costs about 20 bucks. Plouf is the most expensive out of the 4 cafes at 45,000 won per kid for 2 hours and 15,000 won per adult. Your typical kids cafe that you'll find in Seoul kind of looks like this. It's still pretty nice. This one is called Little Shinsegae, and it's located in the Shinsegae department store. You can actually leave your kids here if they're over 3, and you can go shopping, and the workers will supervise your kids. I haven't been brave enough to leave my kids alone, but I've seen other kids play there without their parents. This costs 12,000 won per kid for 2 hours and 3,000 won for adults. Also, some high-rise apartment buildings have their own play areas. Here's what ours looks like. Before you guys get too jealous of these amazing kids cafes that we have here, let me just explain something. In Korea, there are many days where the air quality is so bad that it makes it dangerous for kids to go outside and play. So for this reason, the kids cafes and indoor play areas are kind of a saving grace. Also, for most of the year, it's either really hot or really cold, and so it's nice to have an indoor place where your kids can run around. But I try to let my kids get outside and get some fresh air as much as possible. Whenever we have a clear air day and the weather is good, we are outside, and even if it's a little too hot or a little too cold, as long as the air is good, I'll try to get my kids outdoors. Another thing that I really like to do is to take my kids to the Children's Museum, which is so close to our house. It's about 10 minutes walking distance, and my kids love this museum, and it always keeps them entertained, and on top of that, it's free. You know what? Most of the time, I just have them play with each other at home. I mean, they're sisters and they're best friends, and they're lucky to have each other, so they can entertain each other at home. I don't go to kids cafes a ton because number one, they're expensive, and number two, I feel like my kids always get sick when they come back from these places. And a couple of things that I do to minimize that is I make sure that they wash their hands before they eat, so I don't let them eat and go back and forth and play. And then I also try to go on days where there are not going to be a lot of other kids there. So like I won't take them on a Korean holiday. I'll take them on an American holiday when my husband has a day off and all the Korean people are in school or at work, and then I just let my kids take the day off from school. Or we'll go in the morning when they first open, because a lot of places open at like 10:30 or 11, and I noticed that a lot of Koreans don't get out until after lunchtime. So if you get there early and you're there for like 1 to 2 hours, then there's probably not going to be a lot of people there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'll talk to you next time. Bye!